Hey guys, it's me Bridget and I'm back with another video. So this week I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the books that I read that kind of brought me to this point that I'm at in my life with just growth and personal development and like my spiritual relationship with God and like just where I'm at kind of. I really want to like delve really deep into like some of the stuff that I've been like learning about myself and about life and about how to be happy and like how to be fulfilled in what you do in your life. And I thought that this would be a really great place to start because this is kind of where I started with just reading a bunch of books. So with all that being said, I'm gonna share with you guys my top 7 books that I have, or wait, is it 7? Yeah. So with all that being said, I'm gonna share with you guys my top 7 books for spiritual and personal development and growth. So I'm gonna share these with you guys based on no particular order. I read all of these books kind of at the same time / leading into each other because I'm just that type of person. I read like a bunch of books at the same time. And they all really helped me, honestly, equally. These are like, this list is probably a list of Bridget's top favorite books because these are the only books in my life that really genuinely changed my life. And all of these books are books that I've read within the past like year period. Beautiful. Ooh, that smelled like fried rice. Ew. The first book that I wanted to share with you guys is actually Think and Grow Rich. It's by Napoleon Hill. This book is probably the #1 most talked about book by entrepreneurs ever throughout history. It's basically the formula of how to gain anything in your life. It's called Think and Grow Rich because it's about how you think and grow rich. It's about, you know, like law of attraction and like how you put together your life in a way so that all of your wildest dreams, which for most people is riches, come to you. Even though it's called Think and Grow Rich, it's really not about just riches and money. It's about anything in your life that you really want to be better. You can use this book to get what you want out of life. So this book is literally a really, really great one. I've read this now 1 complete time through, 1 half time where I took like very detailed notes on half of the book. Now I'm reading it again with like a book club type of thing, where I'm trying to keep like in touch with other people who are also reading it, some for the first time and some, you know, who've read it before. The next book that seriously changed my life, this book I just finished about a month ago. This was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm gonna give you guys a little secret because I'm not, you know, sponsored by Audible or anything like that. So if you guys look up and Google the PDF version of Rich Dad Poor Dad, it is there. You can read the whole book. I did it that way. That book changed your life. Like the way that he talks about money and then explains money makes you feel like money could possibly be not the most mysterious thing in the world, and you could actually figure it out and actually not be struggling for money the rest of your life like 99% of the population. So that's like really interesting, and I'm fascinated with like, you know, business and stuff related to like finances and stuff like that. So that book was like really, really, really good for me. I'll probably read that book like 20 times over my lifetime. Not even over my lifetime, 20 times over this next year. The next book I also don't have here with me, but I actually did have this one, but it's in California right now. I'm currently on the East Coast, so I don't have the actual copy. But this one is called 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. It's by John C. Maxwell, and this book, when I tell you, John C. Maxwell books in general are just really, really great. But this book particularly is like really, really great for anybody who's trying to like just be a better person. Like if you're trying to like delve deep in yourself, if you know that there's a better you in there that could be someone who's like a leader, someone who's an example for other people and who pushes other people to create something big for themselves and for the world. If you feel like that, this book is seriously so great, because it gives you such great qualities to just like be as a person, and obviously, you know, it gives you 21 of them. I took like super detailed notes on this book. I would suggest you do that too if you're gonna read it. It's really good. Really good. The next book is also by John C. Maxwell. This one is called 5 Levels of Leadership. This one is probably the same size as the other book, but the chapters are longer, because the 21 Laws of Indispensable, the 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, that book, the chapters are super short, which makes it easier for you to like take notes on or something like that. They're basically noted chapters anyways. They have like bullet points and like questionnaire kind of things. But this other book, the 5 Levels of a Leader, those chapters are a little bit longer. They're still super easy format to take notes on and like understand, because that's just how John C. Maxwell seems to write his books from what I can see. So that's like a really good one also to like write notes on and everything. But I think that one's kind of next step from 21 Laws or 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader, because that one kind of talks about like even if you're working on all of those skills, like what level you could be on all of those skills kind of thing. The next book that I read that I also don't have with me, but this book, I need to find the copy of this, because me and my boyfriend marked it up so much. There's so many underlines and so many like notes written from us in there that are just like so personal. I really want to find our copy of this book. But this one, when I tell you, this one changed my spiritual journey like so intensely. It's called Celebration of Discipline. Personally, I'm a Christian. When I say Christian, I use that term kind of loosely because a lot of the connotations with it, but I do believe in Jesus Christ very strongly. He's my Lord and Savior, and and this book is kind of based on that doxology, I guess. It like teaches you how to be a strong person of faith based on believing in Jesus. But I do think that this book is like reputable for anyone, because it also just teaches you general practices of spirituality. So if you read the book and related it to whatever you believed in, I think that would work out fine, because it would just teach you like more ways of being disciplined in your faith. And when I say discipline, I feel like that's like a scary term, but really like the more disciplined you are in your faith, the more free you are in life, because you can trust so much in the higher power, you know? More on that in another video, y'all. I'm always saying that in my videos. Okay, the next book I actually do have. This book is called Exponential Living. I haven't even finished this book, and it's already one of my favorites. I'm very early in it. I think I'm on like chapter 2 of the chapters that she writes, because like the way it's written, I think I'm on like chapter 2 of like the actual like advice part, because the way it's written is there's like a lot of chapters, but then there's like principles. See, like I'm on this part, and this is principle 2. So I only read one principle, and the girl already has me hooked. This book is so good. It's about, let's say, the tagline on it, it says, "Stop spending 100% of your time on 10% of who you are." This book is written by Sherry Riley, and the foreword in the book is by Usher. And I usually don't read forewords, but I actually read this one. And basically Usher was saying that like Sherry Riley is like just like this angel of a woman who is super boss in like her business and everything, but she finds a way to just always be doing something that fulfills her. So if it doesn't fulfill her, she has no reason to be doing it. Apparently she met Usher very early on in his career, and like when he was a teenager, and she decided like hands down like she was not gonna work with him because she wanted to be able to be like a good friend to him. So she like, you know, lost out on a lot of money because Usher's like a millionaire, you know, just because she decided to be just friends with him. And she decided that because she wanted to be able to be there for him as just a person who wasn't getting any money from him. Basically, that gives you like an idea of who she is as a person. And then so reading this book, she's explaining how basically we put too much value on certain things in our life, so then we spend our lives chasing that certain thing, and then when we get it, we realize that it didn't actually have the value that we put on it, and then we end up kind of lost. And so the way that she says that we should live, you know, exponential living, is by putting more value on everything that matters in our lives, figuring out what genuinely matters on a deeper level and less superficial, so therefore, you know, deeper than money, deeper than looks, like that kind of stuff. Figuring out how to care about those things and figuring out how to put a lot of time and energy and value in those things and not care so much about the superficial level of success. Anyways, this book is really, really good. It's really, really interesting. It's really, really like informative and like, you know, catching. Like you just like don't want to take your nose out of it. It's a really, really good book. So you guys should check this one out too. And then, are we on the last book, y'all? Yeah, we are. Okay, so then finally, I saved this book for last because, I mean, you might be able to tell this book is literally like a godsend to me. Like, this book was so good. Okay, so it's called Women Who Run with the Wolves. It's by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I have to tell you guys, like, the story behind this book. So, basically, like, I want to say, like, 3 years ago, I was watching YouTube videos, and one of my favorite YouTubers, you guys might watch her too. Her name's Sarah Kay. She made a video and she was talking about like this book, but I want to say in this video she didn't actually say the name of the book, but she mentioned the line from the beginning of the book where she said, where the writer of the book said, you learn about your wild self by, I think it was like, climbing to the tops of trees teaches you what sex feels like. I think that's what Sarah said in her video. And when she said that, like, she said it was from a book, and I was like, girl, I need to read this book. That sounds good. That sounds poetic. That sounds right up my alley. You know what I mean? So I was like super interested, but she didn't say what the name of the book was. And I think maybe in another one of her videos she did, but like, I don't remember. And you know, I just went about my life, whatever. Then about a year ago, my mom came to me. I had just moved back in with her after my divorce situation, blah, 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 and getting evicted, whatever. I moved in with my mom. I was going through this period that I'm like talking to you guys all about, of just like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with my life, and like trying to just figure myself out and really like understand and stop just floating around, because I felt like I had just been floating for so long. Anyways, basically she came to me and she was like, I started reading this book. It's super, super like insightful, and I just feel like you should read it. I feel like anytime that happens, that's really God telling that person to like tell you something. Like anytime somebody comes to you and they just have this urge to ask you to do something that's so random and not like in any way beneficial to them, and like not in any way normal for them to ask you to do, but just like they just felt that urge to do that, I feel like that's God when that happens. So she went out and she bought this book, and when I tell you guys, it's been literally insane. I've been reading this book, and the chapters are pretty long, so a lot of times I'll read it like one chapter a month, and I have to say, like, honestly, no, the chapters aren't really that long, to be honest, but what happens is like they will relate so clearly to what's going on in my life, to the point where like emotionally and spiritually, like I feel like connected to the book, and like as I'm going through things in my life, it's almost like I can't move on to the next chapter until I've dealt with the thing that's in this chapter that I'm working on. So it's really crazy. Like this book, this book is like just life-changing. It's so just connecting. Basically the point of the book, it's called Women Who Run with the Wolves. The point of it is basically it tells stories to connect women with like their culture, with like what women are supposed to be doing, and like to help empower us to connect with our deeper like soul. It's in no way like, like trying to leave men out. It's just kind of like most books are written from the perspective of a man. So like the way she describes it, she's just like, most books are like that. This book is like this. So it's really not like a big, like, it's not supposed to be just like women can do this, but it's written based on the perspective of a woman, and like based on things that women understand innately just because we're women. And so it basically like explains things that I had never seen explained in words before. It like goes just deep into your soul and just like, it just brings out what's going on, and it speaks truth on it so that you can speak truth on it, and so that you can move forward. I could go on and on and on and on about this book. This thing is just so seriously so good. So instead of going on and on and on about it, I'm actually going to film a video right after this. I'll see if you guys are interested in this, but I've been wanting to do this for a while because this book impacted me so much. I really just want to sit and kind of like go through each chapter and talk to you guys about like what happened with me when I read that chapter, and like just share with you guys, because I just feel like this book is just not even that heard of. Like most people don't know about it, and it's just people should, and I just want to put it out there, and that's gonna be my way of doing that. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for next video, because that's what that's gonna be. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, or if you're interested in reading them and you want to know more about them and ask me questions or something, just leave me a comment down below, and I'd be totally willing to respond and talk to you about them books. If y'all want to just talk about books in general, totally leave comments down below, because I'm totally down to sit in the comment section and just talk about books, because I love to read and I'm a nerd. Please like this video if you did enjoy this video, just to let me know that you guys like this kind of content, so I can keep making this kind of content. Also, if you did enjoy this video and you liked it, then please subscribe and hit the bell or whatever, so that you'll be notified when I make any new videos. You've heard the YouTube spiel, so you know how to do that. You know how to keep in touch if you want to. So do that if you want to, and then follow me on all my social media if you guys are interested in just like keeping in touch, because I share a lot of stuff that I'm doing on like everywhere. YouTube is definitely not the only platform that I share stuff on, and I'm working on a whole lot of other stuff you guys might like seeing. So if you wanna, you could always just look up my @name, and you don't have to follow if you don't want to, but you could like lark if you want to, like a couple pictures, comment. Or you could like a couple pictures, comment, and follow me. That would be cool too. I wouldn't mind. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you want to do. Do you, boo? Remember, guys, mind your business, expand your mind. Bye. I love you.